You know when you first hear about the negative effect clutter has on you? You look around your home and suddenly realize it's everywhere.
Oh my gosh.
Oh my gosh.
Oh my gosh.
So you start decluttering. But 30 minutes in, looking at the pile of stuff you just took out of your closet, you're deeply regretting your life choices. Well, as it turns out, I could have done my decluttering so much faster had I known these 7 easy tricks I'm about to spill. Let's start with an easy win. Grab a bin bag and go around your house and pick up the rubbish. There's probably loads of it just lying around. You know, wipes that you've used, snack packages from your kids, maybe those boxes that snacks come in, maybe you can decant those, paperwork that you no longer need from maybe past appointments that you got from your GP, but they're still lying around in your entryway. Maybe you've got birthday invites that are from birthdays months ago, or even just cardboard boxes just lying around or stuffing up your understairs cupboard. All of those items can go. It's such an easy win, and it can actually give you a lot of space back. It can help you make some progress in a really short amount of time. So go grab that rubbish and take it out of your house. Number 2 is to do it in bite-sized sessions. The reason why I say this is because this way, going the bite-sized way, you can avoid decision fatigue. It's something that comes in when we do a long session of decision making and decluttering, and you have to pick up all of these items and make decisions. Am I going to keep this? Am I going to let it go? Am I going to sell it? Am I going to donate it? All of those questions. It can get so taxing on our minds after a long session of doing this, and it has been shown that the quality of our decisions actually deteriorates as we do this, if we do this for a long period of time in one sitting. That's why actually doing small declutters can be way more effective. You can be a lot more refreshed. Just do 15 minutes, 20 minutes, however long you have. Tackle that one drawer, tackle that one cupboard, tackle your t-shirts, tackle your jeans. This way you are more likely to be more realistic with yourself. You are going to make decisions that are going to make the whole decluttering process go so much faster in the long run. The 1% rule. This rule helps us reduce the pressure that we feel when we declutter. The 1% rule is something I've read in the Atomic Habits book. It's something you can use in lots of different areas of your life, but I have implemented this in my decluttering process. So when you look at the room, at the space, try to ask yourself, how can I make this 1% better? It's not perfect we're aiming for here. You don't have to have the perfect organization system. You don't have to have the perfect storage bins or, a massive space to store all of your things. We're just trying to look realistically at the space that you have in front of you and how can we make that 1% better. It might be just that taking out the rubbish from that space. It might be decanting some of those items into jars or containers. Yes, it might be finding some storage containers to help you with the space, but generally we try to declutter first and then by organizing systems, because trying to organize clutter, it's not going to be productive and it's going to defeat the purpose down the line. Tip number 4 is to make it a rewarding experience. It's been said in the Atomic Habits book again that if you make it a rewarding experience, you're way more likely to want to do this again. So if you're trying to create a good habit, you're trying to get into a new habit that you haven't done before, then trying to make it fun and pleasurable and rewarding, it can help you so much. It's kind of like tricking your brain, right? And I absolutely had to do this in the beginning. Sometimes that might mean putting on some music, putting on a podcast, and again doing small declutters so that you can feel accomplished at the end of that short session, rather than having a long session that's really overwhelming, that makes you end up in front of this pile of clothes after you've taken all the wardrobe out onto your bed, and it just makes you feel like a failure, right? Because you're not going to have the energy most likely to go through all of those in one go. And so what's going to end up happening is you're going to feel like a failure. You're not going to be able to effectively declutter, and then you're either going to give up, put everything back, or you're just going to end up feeling really bad the entire day. And since you're not enjoying the process, you're way less likely to do it in the future. And while we're on this point, I'm reading right now the One Thing book, and one thing I found really interesting is they mention how actually creating a new habit is really hard in the beginning, and we often assume we need to be super disciplined to create a new habit and be consistent with it, when in fact, we only need to be disciplined with it in the very beginning, in the habit forming phase. And then once it becomes a habit, you actually don't need that amount of discipline anymore, because it's just a habit. It's just something you do, kind of like brushing your teeth. And so yes, it does become easier in time. Tip number 5 to speed up your decluttering process is to have a faster outflow. You know, you grab all of these items from your home, you've got all the good intentions to get them out, but somehow it seems very lagging and slow. But that's usually within our control. We control how fast we get those items out of our house. So if we make it a priority, you know, this week I'm gonna go to the charity shop, take all of these bags with me and donate them, or I'm gonna put them on my local freebie, you know, Facebook marketplace group so that somebody can come and collect it. You know, try to make a process for yourself to actually get those items out. So whether that's donating or taking them to recycling, to the tip, or taking those pictures to put them on Vintage to sell, just try to make a commitment to yourself to actually get them out and to speed it up. And this is gonna massively speed up your decluttering process. The next method to speed up the process is to ask yourself those questions, right? The fire method, the moving method, all of those types of questions. So, you know, if you lost this item in a fire, if something happened and it burned down, would you miss it? Would you go out and replace it? If you wouldn't, then that's an item you can probably let go of. Or the moving method. If you were to be moving and maybe it's a fragile item, would you actually make the effort to wrap it up really well, to package it up in a box, take it with you, find a spot for it in the new home? Would you go through all that effort? And if you lost it during the move, would you miss it at all? Or would you be kind of relieved that it's gone? These are some questions that really help you put into perspective if it's an item you actually need, or if you're just keeping it because it's there. And also declutter on the go, aka the out box that I always mention. If you can make decluttering something that's part of your daily or weekly routine, it will actually speed up the process without it feeling like this massive task that you have to do. So when you're going through your kids' wardrobe and you realize, oh, they actually haven't worn this hoodie in a long time because maybe they don't like it or maybe they've outgrown it, then I can just grab that hoodie, put it in the out box, and then the next time I have a trip to town or to a charity shop, I can simply take it with me and get it out of my house. And the same if I look in my wardrobe and I see a piece of clothing, you know, I take it out to put it on for the day, but then I think, well, actually it doesn't feel very flattering. I just don't feel like myself wearing it. Well, that's a good sign that I can simply take it out and put it in the out box. I don't need to have those items lingering in my closet. So decluttering on the go is definitely something that's very helpful to speed up your way to a clutter-free home. Yeah, decluttering doesn't have to be that hard when we implement these little systems to help us get there faster.